Hi, in this video, I'll tell you 4 different ways that you can input data into the portfolio analysis suite. If you're here for the first time, come to manual data entry and then just click on create demo. This will create a demo portfolio with 5 different projects. You can click on any one of these and then just update them, delete them, and put your own data. So that's one way to do it. The other way is to create a CSV file and import the data. So let's look at that option. So the first thing that you want to do is you can go and export this data. So let's export this data. When you export this data, it will create a CSV file. So this is how the CSV file looks. It has a project ID. These fields can have these names, or you can have different names. I'll show you how that can be done. So I have these 5 projects that have been exported. Instead of this, you can actually put in your own data. You have some additional fields. These, you can ignore them for now. These are there if you want to control the specific attributes for each project. So these are optional fields. And note that the minimum fields that we require are, in addition to the project ID, project name, organization, and project manager, we require budget cost, the actual cost, the planned start, and planned finish date. That's it. The others can be estimated. So I'm going to clear this data. Let's clear this data up. And now let's go to file management. In file management, you have 2 options. One option is the CSV file. We're going to do the CSV file now. So click for the CSV file. So when you are importing a CSV file, you have to provide the mapping from the CSV file column names to the ones that we require in this application. So here I'm just organization. Instead of organization, I have department. So that's where I hold it. For project manager, I'm using this label. For start, I'm using start. For plan finish, I have complete. And for BSC, I'm using budget. For actual cost, it's utilized. So those are the main fields that we want to import. These are optional. If you have manual planned values available from some software, you can input them in the CSV file. If you have earned value, you can also input them. In this case, I'm going to leave them out. So now we've loaded the data. Once you've loaded the data, then the next thing that you do is you provide some basic settings, and these are global settings. So in this case, I'm using an S-curve to estimate the planned value, and I'm using the currency symbol is dollar and the postfix is millions. This is the data date. So you have to provide a data date for analysis, and you have to put in an inflation rate. Can be 0 if you want, but I'm going to put in 12% at this point. Once you've done this, these are optional. You can just go directly and run the calculations. So we run the calculations. So it's now completed calculations for 71 projects. And you can then go to project analysis, and you can see all the projects. The analysis are done, portfolio analysis, and this gives you overall picture of your portfolio health. Now, what we're going to do is, once you've done your calculation, you're happy with the data, you export it, and I'll export this to a JSON file. You can export to a JSON file or a CSV, and the difference is with the JSON file, it takes the settings, the global settings also. With a CSV, it will only take the project data. So I'm going to do a JSON package, and that's it. So my data is now exported. Let's clear up the data again in manual data entry. And now I'm going to show you how to import JSON data. For JSON data, just click on JSON, pick the data, and that's it, you're done. So as soon as you've loaded the data, the first thing that you want to do is to run the batch EVM. And then now after this, you are ready to explore the project menus, the portfolio analysis, and the portfolio chart menu. So these are all available once you've done that. So it's really simple. So one, you can create demo data and then do manual data entry. Second, you can import a CSV file. And third, you can get a JSON file. So starting from the automation to manual, CSV, or JSON, all these are options. The file that it creates it's a compact file. If you want to share your portfolio with anyone, you can just send them a JSON file. They can load the JSON file, and that's it. They can look at your portfolio. Now, this application right now is in beta state. Once it's fully developed, it would actually have a backend, which is a database. So then you won't have one additional way of getting to data. You will still have these options, but you will also have a database option where you can store your data. but that is for later for the production model.